Hey there, welcome to Real WW Talk. I am Erin.
I'm Candice.
And I'm Rikki.
Did you forget for a second who you were?
Who, me?
Rikki.
Oh, Rikki. Yeah, it was like a delay. You were like, and I'm Rikki afterwards.
It wasn't on my end. I didn't think so.
Oh, well, we're all present and
We're here.
accounted for.
That's right. We're all here and that's what matters. Ladies, we're now at the halfway point of June, which is mind-boggling to me.
It's like,
Crazy.
I'm telling you, you feel like a broken record when you say that time is a really weird thing. It can go so quickly, depending on what you're focused on, or so slowly in other ways. I'm sure, Rikki, when you're teaching, you're like, oh my gosh.
Oh
Hurry
yeah,
up.
the past week was just the longest week ever.
But you're done now. School's done.
School is done for the summer. Get a break. I'm doing a little bit of assessing here or there, but I'm not doing summer school. I am just, for the most part, I'll be relaxing and doing whatever I want to do.
I keep thinking of Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone going, I'm free. Like, are you running around the house?
Yes.
I thought I would start us off with like a little icebreaker question.
Fancy.
Ooh, I know. What is your favorite summer drink?
Well, I'm all about the sparkling water. So like anything I currently, it's actually something I think you mentioned a few episodes ago, Erin, the Waterloo mojito. Like I'm really feeling their mojito and pina colada flavors. So
I haven't gotten those yet. All I have is the all day rosé, and it is. Oh wait a minute, I've got it here. If you're on the, if you're watching us on YouTube, you're watching the video version.
Yeah,
it's very good.
It makes me feel fancy, and it's my comeback when people say, "Do you want something? Do you want a drink?" And they mean like an alcohol one. I'm like, "I'll take a Waterloo mojito." Yeah.
Well, I think I feel like those are also really great to start as mocktails.
Yeah,
because you can put a little mint in it, and a little bit of squeeze of lime, and it's a great start.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because when it's hot outside, that's all I want really is water. Like, but it makes you feel, the bubbles make it fancy. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Rikki, how about you? Favorite summer drink?
Well, so I'm not really a slushy person, like a 7-Eleven slushy, but I feel like just the idea of a slushy, like with that type of ice, anything that has, like I'm typically a room temperature water person, but when it's really hot and, I need something cool. Anything like I'm thinking about, like I'm not a big Rita's person either. Like Rita's is a local Italian ice place, but I just think of that texture of the ice, that like I'm just not a big ice person, but I love the idea of a slushy that's something that's like really just cool and has that the shaved ice component to it.
Rikki, that just made me think Erin is overdue. Since we began Real WW Talk, she promised she would take us to like Baltimore and get like this slushy thing that has like marshmallow and things in it.
Snowballs, baby. Yes.
We have yet to have it. I just want to put pressure. Hint, hint. Make this the summer that we make it happen.
Let's go
What's it
down
called again?
It's a snowball.
Okay. But it has marshmallow in it.
Yeah. Not to be confused with a snow cone. Those are two different things. Okay. Snowballs. First off, snow cones are served in a cone, not in a cup. A snowball needs to be served inside of a cup. The ice texture is a little bit finer. Snow cones are a little bit more granular. But if you're going to have a Baltimore snowball, you're going to do either like egg custard or skylight with marshmallow, the marshmallow like fluff, but it's runnier than just the straight marshmallow fluff.
I want you to see how serious she got about it. She was like, no. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
This is this and this is this. Don't you dare call it a snow cone.
These are like fighting words. And like if you're down in like, I think it's like Louisiana, they put like condensed milk on theirs. And then there's different like Korean shaved ice. There are all kinds of different versions of it. But Baltimore, it has to come out of a half rundown shack.
Okay.
And the cold kiss bottles. Okay. That's That's pure. That's pure Baltimore.
And we're counting 25 points for it and we're done with it, right?
Absolutely. And as you eat it, you will notice your O's start to slide a little. Okay. I'm just going to let you know
that. And then it was last thing there was also another drink that came from, was it a lemon or something? And you just kind of, what is this thing?
It's the lemon stick. So we're in lemon stick season, and it's called a King's lemon stick. You know, like the buttermints, like those really soft peppermint. Except this isn't a stick. This is a stick form, and there's lots of little holes on the inside. It's this really soft peppermint stick, and you would take a lemon, you cut it in half, and right where like the little, not core, but that little pit area in the center, you put your lemon stick inside there, and then you squeeze the lemon and you drink the lemon juice through the peppermint stick. So you get hit with this, sour lemon, pure lemon juice, but then you get the sugar from the lemon stick and the peppermint, and it's good. So I will make one of my favorite summer drinks. This wasn't the one that I was going to go with, but it is one of my favorite summer drinks. I will take a mason jar. I will fill it with ice, juice a lemon, and then add like 2 cups of water to it and 1 or 2 drops of peppermint extract. And then if you want to, you could add whatever sugar you want. So think like a lemonade with peppermint added to it. And that's a Baltimore lemon stick water. That's what I call it.
Very refreshing.
Okay.
Good.
We just have things to do. I'm really excited about going on this tour.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So we're going to do a summer of fun tour in Baltimore with me. Okay.
Yes.
I can't wait.
And then we'll cap it off with a walk at UMBC, and we're gonna work on the hill, and we're gonna go up faster.
We got to get our steps. So
right.
Of course.
Sounds great.
I
Works
love
for
it.
me.
Come to Baltimore, hon. Let's go do it.
That's when I get my O's. Would you say your O's will get longer? So
That's right. I love it. My favorite is when I bring DC people over to Baltimore and try and convert them. It's the best.
and they're like, no.
So
Love my TC.
Yeah.
Yes, it's cute. I will tell you one. So that's my other summer drink, but I love. Have you guys ever done this? When I get a watermelon, because those things are so huge, it produces so much.
Mhm.
I will cut the watermelon up into chunks, and what I can't eat during the week, I will freeze, and then I will put the watermelon in my blender with some water, and I'll just do 5 or 6 chunks, water, a little bit of, if I don't do coconut water, there's a coconut powder. And then wait a minute, I'm going to go get it from my cabinet, because I'm sitting in front of my kitchen. If you're on the podcast, I've moved to in front of my kitchen today because I need sunshine. And then I blend it up with a little bit of mint. So it's kind of like a watermelon mojito kind of a thing, minus the lime. And it's cold and refreshing and hydrating, and it's really delicious.
I thought you were going to say, what a lot of people, while she's going to get it, a lot of people had recommended to me that you take your frozen fruit that you've frozen, blend it up, and pour it into the ice cube trays. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
It's Laird, Lard, and it's what's the name of the guy who does it? He's a surfer, and he has all kinds of paleo products, but it's Laird Superfood Hydrate Coconut Water. And it's a good source of calcium. It's got the potassium in it, of course, because it's coconut water. And 1 tablespoon, I'm pretty sure, is 1 point. But I get that extra potassium and those electrolytes.
I love that.
In a better way in the summertime. So I'll often, if I go walking outside during the summer, I will fill my water bottle up with this and water to make sure that I get, the hydration. So
That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, or you could put in what somebody had recommended, which was taking your blended fruit and pouring it into ice cube trays and using it as ice, so when it evaporates, I love doing that. And it's pretty, and you could put pieces of mint in there as well and freeze them and let it dissolve. And once you take it out, so it makes people think that you really, know what you're doing when you're serving.
I also like to take the frozen fruit, and Rikki, you were talking about kind of that slushy texture. what do they call it? Slurpees from 7-Eleven.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you do the frozen fruit and then you blend it with a sparkling water, it
Mm.
actually gives you that little bit of the Slurpee kind of texture and feeling. And that's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'll
love
try that.
Got some great ideas. That's wonderful. I need to try all of these.
The price of the podcast right there. Free.
We should make a book, right?
Oh, by the way, speaking of the price of the podcast,
We can see how we turned it and we made sure we made that transition. Yeah.
So of course we do this for free, and this is something we all have day jobs. We just love doing this because this helps us. One, we just love the community. We love this community, but it is cost to put the podcast together. So I just wanted to thank a couple people who've joined us as subscribers who are helping to make this happen every month. So just shout out to Amy, was actually our very first subscriber. And so Amy, way to get it, girl. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. But Karen and Lisa, Serena, Sharon, Kate, Jean, thank you all. That's just a handful of folks who are joining in to help make the Real WW Talk podcast possible. So thank you. If you want to join in, just look in the show notes. The show notes are in the description, and you'll see at the spot where if you want to become a subscriber and join in as well, that would be amazing. Thank you so much. But obviously no obligation or anything like that, because we love doing this. Yeah. And something that's new, our podcast provider has added for us, is you can text us. Now, we can't text you back, unfortunately, but we see everything that comes in. So if you have a topic suggestion or a comment that you want to leave about one of the podcasts, we would love to hear from you. Just make sure to include your name so that we can give you a shout out in a future podcast. And so I just wanted to shout out to Nance. She said, I love your podcast, ladies, and I want to recommend a book about menopause for you, because we've been talking about this for the past couple weeks, and we are going to have a menopause expert on coming up relatively soon. But the book that Nance in Harrisburg, PA is recommending is Mind Over Menopause by Paula Bowers, Bowers. She also has a podcast called Get Your Goal with Paula B. She said it's really great information. I am a WW member at Goal. I have kept it off for 10 months, and I have to brag on my tracking streak, 493 days.
Well, I guess I won't go off about my 150 because she just said, whoa, that is wonderful.
Amazing.
150 is amazing. Yeah.
I mean, but that's 400. I aspire to get there one day. Congratulations.
That's awesome, Nancy. Awesome. She also shared her favorite quote, and I love it. She's one of my favorite quotes, is protect your progress. Isn't that great? That's awesome. So thank you, Nance. Thanks for texting in to us. And again, you can find that text number. If you are listening to the podcast, that link is on the podcast. It's not going to be on YouTube. You do have to go over to our podcast platform to be able to see that. Okay, this week. So now we're kind of at, I would call this the official start of summer. Schools are pretty much wrapped up if you're over here on the East Coast with us. I know if you're in the South, I think schools have been out for at least a week or so. But now we're into pool time, ocean time. If you're where we are on the East Coast, I mean, it's a guarantee that you're going to be going to the Bay. You're going down the ocean, hun. If you're from Baltimore, I call it the Baltimore Bahamas. And summertime also brings feelings along with it, because we're wearing a little bit less clothing, and we're like, well, shoot, I said I was going to do this and I didn't, and now I'm stuck with my consequences, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe you didn't say you wanted to do anything, but you're still here and it's the same wrestle year after year. Did you guys ever wear jeans throughout summer? Did you, or do you still do that? Or do you have, like, you break into shorts and feel great about it?
I've always been, even when I was closer to goal, I've always been heavier set on the bottom and very insecure about the thickness of my thighs, which has led me to really, I mean, my legs are a different complexion than the rest of my body. And that's just how my life has been for the past 10, 20 years. It's like,
I have some tanning solution to help you with that, FYI.
I mean, it gets really like, you would think there's like another, like a seam or something where I've been stitched together and there's a whole nother person's body on the bottom half. But like my legs don't see the sun. They just don't. And it's sad because they should and they deserve it. My legs are very strong. And this is a whole sidebar, but during the last few weeks of school, I have this rail thin teacher I co-teach with, just incredibly skinny, very fit. And I squatted down to work with student. I don't tend to get on the floor and sit down with them because then I have to get up, and that's, I can't do that quickly. So I'll usually sit in a little chair, but I was squatting to talk to a kid, and she looked at me, she's like, "That's impressive." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "You could squat like that. I can't squat like that. Like, that's incredible." And at first, my first thing was to be like, "Oh, I should be offended because she just thinks that because I'm overweight, I can't do things." But I was like, no, I am strong. My legs have consistently been strong over the years, even as I've gained weight. When I lost weight, like, that's been an area of strength for me with very minimal strength training. And I should be proud of my legs, but I haven't been over the past.
Well, and she was noticing, one, the length of time that you were squatting, like it was nothing. And she was going, okay, I've got some goals. I need to work.
You inspired her.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Me, I've never really I don't really love wearing jeans, period. Like because it's something about when I'm not feeling confident in my body, I want all the stretch in especially the belly area. So I tend to want to wear the things that you don't have to button. You can just kind of like pull up a little bit. So during the summer, but similar to you, Rikki, depending on how confident I'm feeling, which is usually not very confident during the summer in the past, I never really wore a whole lot of shorts or dresses, maybe sometimes if I was going somewhere nice, but it wasn't the norm. Never anything that overly showed my body. I wanted everything to kind of eclipse me and make people look at somewhere else. I wanted anything I could do to get the attention off of me. So showing skin has never really been my thing. And that gets really hot because when it's really hot outside, that's the only thing that really kind of can cool you down. And I've been jealous of others who seem to just be free willy with it and don't care. But that's a process and has always been for me. What about you, Erin? Do you?
Well, I used to always wear jeans in the summer because I was so just, self-conscious about myself, and definitely not shorts. And also even just from a practical place of #ChubRub.
Yeah.
I mean, just really, really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And my weight is up this year over where it was last year. And so that's been weighing on my mind in terms of my how comfortable I feel in my clothing. And I actually caught myself this year. I went to Florida 2 weeks ago for that conference. And so we have time where we're inside, and then there's the time that would be outside where we're going, because we were at Universal at the conference center there. So we're going out to City Walk and we're doing all these things. And I'm like, I cannot wear jeans out at City Walk. I can't. I know that I can't. And so I had to plan ahead of time on that. And I had to face my own self because I have cellulite where I never had cellulite before. And my changing body, growing old, and I'm not old, I wouldn't look at myself at 42 and go, I'm old, but 42 is different than 32. Yeah. And that is it's shocking to me. And the weight doesn't come off the way that it used to, and all of those things. And so I've got all of that weighing on my mind, and I've caught myself sticking to dark colors. I've caught myself sticking to the pants, and I'm like, wait a second, this is what I do when I hide. And there's food hiding, and then there's clothing hiding. And I have been clothing hiding. And so prior to me leaving, I was like, I've got to really sit down and have a conversation with myself about this, because I am the same person. I am the same person regardless of whatever my weight is. And I need to be proud of that. And so one of the things that does give me a little more confidence is when I use self-tanner flat out. Because One, because I'm not rolling out here looking like unseasoned boiled chicken. Okay. I need to at least look somewhat crispy.
It's a little seasoned. Yeah.
Just a little seasoning happening. And I will tell you, this also irritates me mildly, but not too big. When I am tanned, people are nicer to me. People talk to me. Like I'm in my usual routine places and I have guys stopping to ask me questions.
You're like, must be that tanner. That's what did it.
It's like, it's the tanner. And when I have my contacts in, I swear I improved by 17% to people.
Yeah.
Okay. Psychologist background here. And Candice has that background too.
Please.
What is it, the chicken or the egg? Are you more confident?
Right.
And exuding more confidence, and are they attracted to your confidence, or is it truly the tanner?
Right. So I've thought that.
Okay.
So I've tried to roll into those spaces no different because I want to test this theory out. And I feel like I'm walking in as the same version of me. And you guys have been out with me. I'm usually talking to everybody and their brother, right? Like that's me on the norm, and I've kept that up. And it's just, it almost feels like a little bit to the same of, when you lose weight and then the people who want to put lotions on your hands finally want to touch you when you're at the mall, right? That kind of feeling. Screw your beauty standard.
I don't want it. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm curious. Go ahead, Erin.
Go ahead, Rikki. Go ahead.
I'm just curious though, what things help you guys? This is like a spontaneous question, but like, what are some of those other things that help you guys feel more confident in the summer? Because Erin, you mentioned the chub rub thing, and this is a terrible, like, you can't really see it. There we go, a little bit. Thigh Rescue, and I'm just blocking the light, but yeah. So this is by Mega Babe. I really love this brand because they have a lot of really great products, but Thigh Rescue it looks like deodorant, and they come in really small like cases too. They have one that's the size of a deodorant and one that's mini that fits in my purse. But I keep one in my purse all the time because, sometimes people have chafing in their arms, and I haven't had that happen a lot unless I'm like really walking around a lot. And then with your thighs, and you can reapply it when you're out, you can take it with you. But I find that really helps if you have that in between the thighs chafing. So I don't know. Do you guys have any other things that help you in the summer with your wardrobe to be more comfortable and confident?
Linen. I've hit the linen stage, believe it or not. And it's just, it lets the air flow. And I don't feel as warm as I have otherwise. Like I've fully gotten into the linen pants and the linen tops. Yeah. I've become my mother.
Yeah. And mine isn't a thing. Mine is an appliance for a fan that goes around your neck. Like, because I'm always hot, and I don't like to be hot. And everybody knows that about me. Like I will freeze you out of wherever you are. Like if you want it to be 70 degrees, it's probably 62 wherever I am. But it's been helpful to have this because it doesn't affect other people. But I found it on Amazon, but it looks like a necklace, but it's a fan and it's blowing.
I'm gonna have to find.
I've seen them at Five Below.
Umbrella. There's an umbrella that's called a sun umbrella that I saw yesterday online, and it's black, so it's supposed to block the heat. But underneath, so the inside of the umbrella, it has not only a fan, but a mister. Like you put water in the stem of the umbrella, and it fans you and mists you. So I'm gonna find that for you.
That would be great because the thing is I don't want to inconvenience others or but if you're in like I said, I like it cold. Other people may not. I use this a lot on the plane because everyone knows I can be claustrophobic, and especially if it's hot on the plane. So if I have my little fan that I can put on me that's blowing air, it really helps me. So it's just something, especially during the summer where temperatures vary, depending on where you are. And all it is getting hotter. Now that I'm in my 40s too, Erin, I've joined the club with you. You just have to figure out what works. But Rikki, like you said, even the the creams and stuff that you were talking about. Because see, I'm having a different issue. I'm the lowest I've been in a while. Like I've lost 30 pounds, which is great. Had a little bit of like a maintain for, one of the months, but I'm back to losing and doing what I need to do. But post surgery, after going through breast cancer, and I have scars in different places and things aren't where they were before. And I'm dealing with the way that my body is losing weight, which is not necessarily the way that you ever always wanted to. Like I had a plan on how my body was supposed to lose the weight, like take it all from my face and then all from the belly and then no stretch marks, just do it this way. And it's like, no, I'll take it from this thigh. And then maybe I'll take a little bit from like, the breast area. And then I'll take a little bit from the bottom belly, but not the top one. So it's like, it's a lopsided kind of weight loss. And that's really affected my ability to even be confident in the weight that I have lost. You would think that I'd be out here wanting to show everything, but I've had to have that come to Jesus, or that talk with myself and say, look, you can be proud of yourself, even if it's not going the way that you thought it would in terms of how you're presenting now. I have to get to know this new Candice.
Yeah.
And it made me think of our past episodes when we've talked about hiding from pictures. I still struggle with that. I still have to be so intentional to say, in this body, whether or not surgery has changed this or this doesn't really fit, I deserve to be in memories. I deserve to be, and to enjoy the moment and to have the experiences that everybody else has. Yeah. And if that means that I get to wear the shorts and have to put on the, like you said, the chub rub or whatever they call it, you know what I mean? The thigh gap thing, or if I have to wear my fan, I deserve to do it, and I deserve to be there.
We also have to keep in mind too, as we're doing this, because we're always thinking about ourselves in these moments, understandably. And if we could switch our focus to remember how much we are loved by our family members, how much we are loved by our children, our nieces, and our nephews. And if we can show up in this moment for them, it's a gift for them in the future. One, because they're going to have our bodies.
Yeah.
And if they see us in the pictures, those are things that help give them confidence when they eventually have our bodies. Like just thinking about that in a just a purely different way. And gosh, they look like, I look at the pictures of my mom when she was in her bathing suit. And what I'm seeing is that my mom was present with us at the pool. I'm reminded that she was there splashing with us. Where in my mom's case, she had her floaty and she had her book, and you didn't splash when mom was around in her floaty, but she was with us, And I just think that's so, it's so special. And then I see these pictures of my grandmother and her friends when they're on cruises and they're in their bathing suits and these really awesome cover-ups. And I'm like, I want to do that. I want to feel that. So it's maybe having more of a future mindset than how I feel at the present moment.
Yeah. And maybe even also for me, accepting that you may never ever feel you're just accepting I might not ever to the place of like, I just feel absolutely confident, but do it anyway, like you said. And then that's the future thought. It doesn't really matter if I get to the place that I motivate myself. It's despite, the fact that you can't, your son's worth it. You really are worth it. You just don't know it, leave that for my therapist, but it's,
Yeah. And how many times have we looked at the pictures of ourselves and then 10 years down the line, you're like, my gosh, I wish I was that quote unquote fat now. Like when we look at ourselves, we're like, oh, I'm so fat. And 10 years later, we're like, I was skinny. I want to be that skinny again.
Yeah. It's just, why can't we see ourselves in the moment the way that, we really are? It's that mask that we put on,
And I think sometimes we've built up whatever it is in our head so much that, like, if we actually try it, whether it's, taking off the cover up at the pool or the beach, it's usually, nobody's in my dream or in my imagination. There was someone pointing and laughing at me, and there was a kid that ran by that called me out, and unfortunately people do. We know, someone shared a few months ago. Unfortunately, sometimes that does happen. Yeah. And despite that, we still try, and we still put ourselves out there, and we still give ourselves the experiences that we deserve, because we deserve to be on the beach and in a bathing suit as much as the next person.
Yeah. And if it's not one thing, it's another, because as I said, you could think it's all weight related, but then you'll be talking about loose skin, or you'll be talking about it's never ending. And something about accepting that means that you need to get over it, because there's never a time that I have found where somebody is just 100% just in love with every aspect of who they are.
Right. Mm-hmm. Because there are even people that we would look at and go, oh my gosh, they don't have a single
in the world
issue. And they're sitting there looking at themselves and comparing themselves to someone else. All of us are looking at our own flaws that other people can't see. And the sooner we can get off of those, man, imagine how much better living we can have. And I say that as somebody who's looking at myself in shorts right now and seeing a varicose vein and seeing some cellulite that I'm like super self-conscious about. And I'm like, you know what? It just is. I would rather be cool and comfortable, and I'm just going to accept the cellulite. I'm going to be cellulite, cool and comfortable.
Yeah. But also doing that practice that we talked about, that Rikki just, my legs are strong. Like having those conversations, my body got me through cancer. Like my boobs are a different size because I saved my life. And this is a beautiful body that I have now, and it's strong, and I'm very grateful for the things that it's done. And I'm going to show it off in the form that it's in. And if you don't like it, you don't have to look. But if I'm comfortable, I'm just going to continue saying it. And if I ever believe it in the future, that'd be great. But I'm getting closer, because I think we are listening. They always say, be careful what you say, because you are listening.
Yep. And what we repeat, we believe. So careful what you say to yourself.
Yeah. And you notice every time someone in our group posts a picture of themselves, whether they wore the bathing suit or they took it with their family, the comments that people give, it's nothing but this is so special. This is great. Congratulations. And you feel that way, when you do it.
Speaking of that, because I know we're coming close to the end of our time, but listen, if you want to take that as a challenge for yourself, post a picture within our group, again, because it is such a supportive group, and maybe you just need that as a first step in a safe space. And we'd love to be that for you. It's the Real WW Talk Facebook group. It is a closed group, so you don't have to worry about posting in the group and then maybe one of your friends seeing it, because it's a private group. Nobody can see except those of us who are in the group. So, we would love to hear your thoughts on how you conquer that part of your brain, especially as we're moving into summer. Maybe you've got a different insecurity than something we've talked about. If you're willing to share it, you can also post anonymously and start a conversation that way to get feedback. We just want you to know that you are not alone in this. And we know that the men in our group have different struggles or similar struggles as the women do in summertime. So, concerned about taking your shirt off at the pool. So feel free to share those struggles, how you're overcoming them. If you have overcome it, what did it take to get there? We'd love to hear from you. Just search Real WW Talk on Facebook. And of course, you can leave a comment here. If you want to text us, find that link on our podcast. That's through our podcast platform. And then realwwtalk@gmail.com is how you can email us.
Sounds great.
All right. That's it. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.
Show us your pictures. Bye.